This cyclone Ellie in Camberley, Australia, wildfire in Chile, heavy rainfall in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, and the Saudi Arabia turned into green, bomb cyclone in North America, drought in South America, especially in Argentina, flood in Pakistan. All this happening within a span of same period of time on this globe. The nature is taking its revenge to human as we have destroyed the nature. Mr. Chair, my wife, my friends from Bangladesh, and dignitaries, professors from different parts of the world, I am going to talk to you about another pandemic which we are not understanding yet. COVID smashes us, but the climate change and its impact on human health is really coming very badly. I have no conflict of interest and no financial involvement in my speech. The globe is burning. And Lancet, in 2009, they mentioned that 21st century climate change will be the biggest global health problem. And the health at the mercy of the fossil fuel, we are going to experience all this as mentioned by Lancet countdown. I have the following I will go through. So what is climate change? In a very short, if you think, climate change refers to a long-term shift in temperature and weather pattern. On the other hand, UNFCCC, they have told that this is created by human being. So climate change, the basic issues are the variety of cosmological and geological process. It is additional rapid change induced by human. The three important issues must be remembered, Mr. Moderator. And the climate surface is increasing and the ecosystem is getting lost. So the effect of the climate change, that is almost the global death, 1/4 is attributed to the climate change. And unfortunately, the highest in the Southeast Asian region where I live. It is 4.1 million per year because of the climate change. And it is happening now. You can see that in the last 300 years, almost there are 12 times the population increases, threefold the energy in the 50 years we are consuming much more, and there is lots of deforestation. Why we are using this fossil fuel? Because it is cheap, useful, but it is very dangerous. Can you imagine? We have been releasing 350 million years worth of carbon locked away in fossil fuel in the last 160 years. So unfortunate we are, and we have made it. And you can imagine that how this is being. In every second, so many coal, oil, gas are being burned and greenhouse gases are being emitted. Of them, carbon is the number one culprit. You can see from 1950, the carbon is moving very vertical and it has crossed the limit, and already this has put the impact on human health. Of this carbon emission, the three important countries of the world, they contributed highest: the China, United States, and India. Many others also. So total issue is carbon dioxide increasing, the global temperature is increasing, the Arctic Sea ice is melting more and more, our ice sheets are also coming down, sea level is rising, and ocean is warming. because industrial carbon emission is there, wildfire is there, deforestation is there. So everything is going up, sea level, Arctic ice. You see Kilimanjaro mountain in 1970, full of ice. And what is happening now? In 2000, the ice is less, and nowadays almost no ice. So what is going to happen? According to the Lancet countdown, we are in the last 7 years, the worst time we have passed. So the health impact due to this is much higher, and it is the extreme events, air quality, infectious disease, food, water quality and quantity, and mental health. So who are at risk? Children, pregnant women, and older people, and people living in the rural and remote areas. So health and heat, you can see that heat stroke, acute kidney injury, adverse pregnancy outcome, worsened sleep pattern, impact on mental health, and underlying deterioration of the underlying condition of the cardiovascular and respiratory system. This also reduces our health physical activities, and because of this, many hours are being lost, and the laborers, because of the heat, they cannot work. So many billions of potential hours of the laborers are being lost, and mostly it is in the agriculture field. And in one study, they have published that this heat-related human climate change, this is affecting much more higher than the last 10 years. And if you consider the extreme weather, that is wildfire, I have told you, drought, I have told you, and the extreme weather like the snowfall. Very recently, in the month of December, in United States experienced the bomb cyclone, minus 60 in some areas. So these are the effect of climate change. The wildfire, I told you, it happens in many parts of the world, and this is very, even now, yesterday I have seen that in the news, still in Chile, it is going on. They cannot stop it. Hectares and thousands hectares of land are finishing by this. Drought, this is very, very important. 29% of the global land area are affected by the drought. And you can see the extreme weather, it increases the suicidability of the human being, and also it increases the anxiety, phobias, depression, and stress-related condition, and substance abuse, also sleep disorders. But drought and heavy rainfall, heavy snowfall, that disrupt the agriculture. This is the picture in the United States and Montana, and this is also bringing the cyclone and tornado. You can imagine when Katrina hits, it cost $250 billion at that time. So there is a great loss because of the climate change. So this is sudden events that are coming. You can see that this is in the California. Just last month, the flood affect the California. This is in my country. Also, the hurricane and all others climate related, they are, the cattle are also dying, and they sweep everything, catastrophic. Landslide also happened in California, also in my country. So these are the effects of climate change. And the related issues are air pollution. This is the picture of Delhi, India. They are sometimes on the top, and Dhaka, my capital city, Dhaka is also very much polluted in some season, but especially in the summertime. So ultimately, it promotes the death, chest pain, development of exacerbation of the asthma, allergy, cardiovascular disease, and acute exacerbation of COPD. And there are vector, food, and waterborne diseases that actually gives us some other ideas. You can see now almost half of the world population lives in the countries where dengue is present. So, three viruses, dengue, Zika and chikungunya, because of the climate change, they are coming up and very enormously, they are spreading from one country to another country, and it is prevailing for a long time in some part of the world. The Aedes aegypti and albopictus, both are growing with the temperature. More the temperature, and there will be more the development of the mosquito breeding. You can see that malaria and also other vibrios, they are also spreading because of the sea level is rising. They can tolerate the temperature even up to 40 degrees Celsius. From 14 to 40, they can sustain, and humidity from 40 to 80. So, because of the climate change, these diseases are increasing enormously. Salmonella, Campylobacter, Vibrios, and Leptospira, so many are coming. Most importantly, the sea level that increasing the Vibrios. So, impact, if I go in total, you can see that climate change, this is the summary rather. Temperature rising, sea level rising, more extreme weather, and increasing the carbon level. So that is attributing all this that I have told you just few minutes back. This is the total summary. Last but not the least, the food insecurity and food scarcity, undernutrition and malnutrition. And climate change shorten the growth, crop growth. So, despite all this, you know, that the war between Ukraine and Russia, the most two important countries, those who are producing the wheat, maize and all others, these are also disrupting. So, climate and man-made other issues are again combining, and food availability, extreme weather and heat and drought, that all are being lost. And because of this malnutrition, there will be responsible are malaria, dengue and vibrios, flood, drought and other thing. But important, the keynote finding of the Lancet Countdown, they are the organization, they are doing a great job for the world. But who is listening to whom? That is the question. Because climate change is undermining always. And every dimension of the global health monitored, increasing the fragility and global system that health depends on. And we are expecting 98 million people, they are coming in the next year. We will experience that there will be food scarcity as well as there will be famine. Mr. Moderator, between 2030 to 2050, climate change is expecting additional death of 250,000 additional death per year from malnutrition, malaria, diarrhea, and heat stress. In conclusion, the direct damage cost is increasing in terms of 2 to 4 billion per year by 2030. And this is mostly in the developing countries. Reducing emission of gas is the mainstay. But I don't know we will be able to achieve those or not. And there are things that we can do. We can build our resilience. We can make ask the country to slow the carbon emission. Otherwise, this boy is looking at the at the blue sky and hoping that the climate will be in future like this. We are expecting the green, and green, but it is lost. I must salute these people because at least you know Al Gore. and many others, they have contributed their majority part of the life for climate change issues and talking. But they have failed, I think. We must stop global warming. This was the slogan of COP27 at Egypt. Let us save the only world we have. Instead of burning the world, let us make it green. I acknowledge Dr. Rifaya and also the sources I have used. Thank you very much for your patient sharing.